Recording in progress.
All right. Has everybody got me okay? I just feel like I'm really quiet.
Can you guys hear me?
All right. Okay.
I can hear both of you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we hear you.
Mhm. A diamond and a piece of charcoal lie side by side. and both receive the same amount of light. The diamond lets the light through and transmits all of the light, does not retain anything, and does not leave an impression behind. But the charcoal has trouble receiving any light. And the impressions that are left behind are scratches onto stone and wood, which are there for some time for others to see. This is the way of your spiritual life. The nearer you get to being a diamond, the less that you hold for yourself. As you become a pure vessel, allowing all to flow through you freely. And you become empty. And you give all by retaining nothing. The process, of course, is to transmit yourself from the charcoal to the diamond, from the dark to the light, from the difficult to the easy. Now, some of this, of course, is by gently washing away the mud that's in the way. Also by periods of refinement. By honoring truth and expressing truth. It is the same with the practice of all types of spiritual exercises. Hold on to nothing. Let it go through you and become the diamond with time. Now you would notice at the beginning of the story, both receive the same amount of light. All beings in your world also receive the same amount of light. It is given to all, not just to some. In the early days, the charcoal is unaware of the light. And it may take many years for the charcoal to realize that there is even a source of light. Your life is no different. And in many, many, if not all cases or lives, and this is multiple lifetimes, but gradually the charcoal becomes aware of light, availing in itself to the charcoal. And the charcoal struggles to retain the light, to hold it, to work with it. What do I do with it? Where does it come from? Where does it go? But you would say to the charcoal, do not worry. Be clean. And just let the light through you. You would not say to the charcoal, move from here to there. Sit in a different position. Sit within water or underneath the trees. You would just say to the charcoal, cleanse. And the charcoal could then become who or what it was meant to be. So your spiritual practice is not to gain, it's not to move, not to become something else, not to have a million different skills, but rather just one. To allow the light through. No need to try to manipulate the light. Just allow it to be what it is meant to be. You see, the charcoal, once it starts the diamond formation, thinks it has to hold it, control it, work with it, give it to others, retain it for itself, for its cleansing on the inside. But this doesn't cleanse it. But this is also the expression of spirit. From non-existent to clarity. The expression of spirit is the light. Let spirit do the work. Let us shine. Do not hold us for your own regard, but let it shine through you. So do not retain spirit, but give it away. Do not manipulate, but allow. Do not try, but just be. This is why the cleansing of yourself is what allows us to come fully manifested into the world. Now, the diamond doesn't just deflect the light, where the light hits the surface and bounces off. Rather, the light is embodied and given away. And tell me, at this time, does the diamond exist or not? You may perceive of a slight form, but it may not actually be there. So do not try. Do not manipulate and do not expect. Let us do the work. Let our light shine into the world. And then there is purity. So let us move on. I believe we have a list of names for healing. May I have those names now, please?
Before I begin, Ignatius, can you hear me? So I don't think Mark's headset is working. If someone else wants to say something just to make sure that maybe it's not me that you can't hear.
Can you hear us, Ignatius?
Just read them anyway, Brandon. It'll happen.
Yeah, let me just read it, see if he'll notice. Leroy and Donna Henke, Teresa, Chris and Howard Wielden, Guy and Helen Bevilacqua, Charlotte Burridge, Eloise, Felicity and Aura, Paya, Sonia, Loretta Caputo, Neil and Raylene Parsons, Josh and Megan French, Sam Lucky, Wesley French, Orlando and Sienna Renshaw, Jennifer, Luke, Oshi, Carla, Doherty, Jane and Lorna Harriet, Myra.
There's a story.
Okay.
Of two monks walking through a forest. And they come across a snake that was rather unfriendly. And when they looked at the snake, they realized that this, in fact, was a reincarnation of once a human. So they released temporarily the human in the snake. And the man said to them, I am in the body of this snake because I hurt so many people in my past life. And I am stuck here. How do I escape? And the monk said, do not bite anybody anymore. And if you follow this, then your life as a snake will not reoccur. So the man was released into the body of the snake once more. And he honored his pledge. But when the village came into the forest, where at first they ran away from the snake, they now began to get closer and closer to the snake as it refused to bite anyone. And eventually the villagers became that close that they could pull the snake and prod the snake with sticks and stones. And they would pull the snake all over the jungle, but the snake refused to bite. After a while, the two monks returned to the jungle and saw the battered and bruised snake and released the man once more. And the man said, look at me. I am hurt, but I have honored my pledge. And the monk said, we said to you, you could not bite. But this does not say you cannot hiss. And the following day, as the villagers came into the jungle, seeing the snake once more, the snake hissed, and the villagers ran away, leaving the snake in peace. Now, the moral of the story is anger can be used in the right way, and it can also be used in the wrong way. It is an emotion which will pass through you at times. Anger is not the error. And this is explained when I explain it a little deeper. You could say there are two types of anger. The first one is when anger starts to bubble within the being. You can get to a point where the body becomes hot. And this can cause slight tremors and shaking and such a strong energy that it must be released. And even then, it is retained for a while longer after the event. And that person becomes an angry person for a matter of minutes or hours or even days. If it was to reoccur often, of course, that person would be classified as an angry person over months or years. But there is a second way. When the bubble of anger starts to rise, it is not retained by the person. Rather, the bubble is seen, and there is love still within the heart. And the correction is made, and the expression is done. But the anger is done so with a tinge of love, and is not retained by either party. In this case, anger may be valid, as you may seek to correct a child. There is another story, and that is of, maybe you've heard of Paramahansa Yogananda. One day he had to tell a student or correct a student in quite a firm way. And later, he sat under a tree and someone approached him. And Yogananda said, I come here to teach people with love. I do not enjoy it when I have to teach them in another way. So very quickly, he returned to being the diamond. And the essence of diamond, of course, is the clarity. And from the clarity arises love. Now, over the last 2 weeks, we have done 2 different meditation exercises. The first one to sit in the silence, and the second to sit in the void. One showed the silence of the mind is there underneath the thought, and the second took away the external world to reveal your true self, the state of clarity. Now, this connects very well to our talk today by becoming the diamond. Now, there are many of you, and I say many in expression of those beyond which are sitting present right now, but those watching at a later time. There are many of you which have trouble with mind's activity, with bodily expression, and seek to come into the stillness. Like the diamond, thoughts will travel through your mind. Most inconsequential. Almost all regarding the past and the future. But the diamond does not stop being the diamond and hold thought, does not restrict the thought. It has more attention on just allowing the thought to go by. So today there is a third exercise for you to try by yourself. And that is to be the diamond. As you sit in your stillness, in your meditation, as the thoughts arise, be aware of the silence underneath the thought. And notice how the thought just asks you to follow it. This is the reality and the illusion. The reality of stillness, the illusion of drama and activity. If you feel the emotion arising, let it pass. Let it travel through you. Now you may think that love also is an emotion. But love is an essence. And it sits within the silence and comes with it. You can give away as much as you like, but you can always retain your essence. So you see, emotions of man have 2 sides. The essence of spirit only has love. So returning to your silence as soon as your thoughts arise. If you remember the first exercise, when the speech was paused and slightly disjointed, to show you the truth underneath it. Come back to the purity of that. Now, if you are aware of a book called A Course in Miracles, it is rather well known, and it is known to the medium as well. The book is made up of many chapters and parts. Within the exercises, which is one part of the book, the first exercise is, what I see means nothing to me. Now, this may be the greatest exercise of all the book, but there are many. The reason why this exercise is perhaps the greatest is that it allows the reflection of light to travel purely through the being, to see the shadow of what could be a chair, and to not hold on to judge or describe that chair. The visions flow through. So I set you another challenge today. And you pick your start time and your end time. But for one day, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. And that is to become the diamond for a day. To let everything flow through you. To let spirit do the work. To retain nothing. To give away everything. For that one day. And of course, I refer to the light. Let everything be a pure expression of that light, all that you do. Let spirit do the work, as we have often said, by allowing us to flow through you into the life. Return to your being of stillness. If emotions rise, let your grounding be in love first. See how your thoughts want to take you away from that stillness and make judgments and criticisms. Let the world be free in front of you. And see what happens to your life. Just for that one day. Does it influence your life in a good way or a bad? Do you feel different from the morning to the evening? And look into that difference and see where that arises from. And then you will find there is more peace in your life. And when there is more peace, there is more spirit. When there is spirit, there becomes more peace, and then more spirit. And the circle builds on itself until the waking of love is stirred. And the bliss will then arise within your being. The tear will fall down your cheek. As you see the wonder of the world. With love and bliss in your heart. Greet all with love in your heart, rather than fear. And two become one for a short period. So become the diamonds and allow spirit to do the work. God bless you all.